today's practice will just be a little bit of everything. So since it is kind of early, if you're doing it live, we're going to warm up with some nice couple rounds of Sun A and Sun B. Then we'll move through some balance, make our way for some couple more heart opener things, seated on our back, a little inversion, finish it off. So should be about 30 minutes or so. And if you want any props, maybe a wall nearby for our one balance pose, which is going to be Garudasana, eagle pose. And for seated, a strap or a block could be handy, but just keep in mind that really you got to make this your own practice. And where I take it to maybe a more heating version, you can always stay with the previous version and other modifications that you know from doing other classes here. So to bring ourselves to the present moment, as always, let's find that aligned spine in a seated position that supports that. Feeling your heart start to open and your shoulders relax. All the muscles of the face start to soften. And just with your eyes either very softly gazing kind of a blurred view at something in front of you, or with your eyes completely closed, just do a quick little body scan to see any areas that maybe need a little extra grace today, or areas that are feeling a little frisky and looking for that challenge. Also check in with the state of your mind and see if your heart can and your gut can kind of communicate to your mind to stay open and to respect your boundaries. Kind of playing that edge of not giving up, but also not pushing too hard. And with that awareness back at your heart, start to fill yourself with a sense of joy. And let your breath kind of guide you through each pose and transition to help keep you present. If you have an intention you've set or would like to set, go ahead and do that now. And then bring your hands to heart center. Lengthen the back of your neck, drawing the chin in and down. And then with your head back up to neutral, open your eyes, relax the hands down. And we are going to make our way right up to standing. So position yourself near the front edge of your mat, front short edge of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center for a moment and just feel grounded through the feet. Feeling all four corners of each foot, maybe even glance down, make sure the outer edges of your feet, the outer blades of your feet are parallel to one another. As you lengthen through the legs, softening the tailbone toward the earth to engage the front core muscles. Feeling soft through the face and finding that breath. And now moving through a modified version of Surya Namaskar A, we'll bring the arms around and all the way up, lengthening through the arms, the spine, the legs. Stay here for an extra breath. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, it might be nice to open the arms out to the side, bend the knees so you can safely hinge at the hips, keeping that aligned spine as you move into that forward fold. We'll stay here as well for a moment, just kind of finding a place that feels supported and comfortable. You can kind of pedal out the heels or lift the toes, relax the head. Feel free to sway around a little bit and just help it get some of that blood flow into the upper back, the neck, the head, the eyes. You can circle out the wrists a little bit, wake up the fingers and hands. And then placing the fingertips either on your shins or on the floor by your feet. We'll move into that halfway lift by inhaling, draw the belly in, shoulders away from the ears, gaze at the mat. As you exhale, we'll bend the knees enough to flatten the hands. Step one foot back, other foot back. Let's just take the knees down on this first one and lower all the way down to your mat. Pressing the tops of the feet and legs into the mat as you slide your hands back slightly. Elbows in, draw the shoulders away from the floor first, and then gently lift the chest, maybe to the base of your rib cage, and hold it there for a couple of breaths, lengthening the back of the neck as much as the front of your neck. And as you exhale, release the chin back to the mat. We'll press into hands and knees, and on this first one, just go into puppy dog. So you can tuck the toes under if you'd like to bring some energy into the toes as you start to walk the hands forward. It's okay if they're a little wider than shoulder width apart, especially this time of day. As you bring your chin towards the mat, maybe use a couple of breaths. Don't feel the need to bring the chin all the way down, just creating a little bit of space. Keep drawing the belly in. Next, inhale, bring the chest and chin up. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And just to get us back to our front of the mat, we're going to lift the knees, a very modified downward dog. And then look where you're going and bring both feet forward between the hands into that halfway lift. Knees are softly bent. Exhale, releasing back towards the legs. And then knees still bent, relaxing the toes as you open the arms and squeeze the belly in to come up safely. And hands back to heart. So stick with that version if you'd like, or you can continue into more of a full expression with the arms overhead on your inhale. Exhale, folding all the way forward. Uttanasana. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale, take the hands flat, step it back. And this time, if you'd prefer, you can just lower into Chaturanga Dandasana. So you're now either inhaling into full upward facing dog or your cobra on the mat. And exhale into a modified downward facing dog, knees bent, heels off the mat. Focusing on what's happening through the shoulders, the spine, draw the belly in. And then last couple of breaths, you can either pedal it out or try to bring both heels down. Next breath in, go ahead and look forward and bring the feet between the hands with as many steps as needed to come into that halfway lift again. Ardha Uttanasana, exhaling into a full Uttanasana. And safely return to standing with hands coming back to heart. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and move into variation of or modification of Surya Namaskar B. So this time we'll bend the knees into our chair pose, holding it there just for a moment to again check your alignment at the knees, distance apart, and staying behind the toes. Exhale into a full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to your halfway lift. And as you exhale, step both feet back. You know your options here. I'm just going to go ahead and move through. Full expression with Chaturanga Dandasana. Moving into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana and Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg up high to the sky. And then bend the knee all the way into your chest. Place the foot between the hands, however you need to get it there. And then really press back through your back heel, knowing that you could just take that knee all the way down to the mat for more support. When you feel steady through that back leg, you can bring your hands up to the heart into this lunge with the option of reaching arms overhead, biceps by the ears. One more inhale here. And we'll exhale, take the hands back to the mat. And we're just going to step it directly to downward facing dog. So bring the right foot back. Maybe bend the knees to get those hips high. And then heels can come lower. For the other side, left leg reaches up. Exhale, draw the belly in to bring the knee up forward. And then foot between the hands. Again, bring in some energy into that back leg or release the knee to the mat. And when both legs feel like they're doing equal work, you can bring your hands up to the heart. Stay here, keeping shoulders stacked over the hips, or bring the arms up overhead. On your exhale, we'll just bring the hands back to the mat, framing the foot, and step back to downward dog. When we step forward, keep your feet hip width apart because I just want to add a little brief twist. So as you inhale, walk the feet forward, hip width apart, and exhale, forward fold. But this time we're going to bend the knees, but place your right hand between the 2 feet. You can use fingertips. And we're going to open up the left arm to the side. Keep the knees hip width apart. Sometimes they want to flail out to the side. And just hold this nice twist for a moment, really reaching up tall through the fingertips of your left hand. And your right knee and right elbow are kind of pushing against each other. As you exhale, we'll just come into a forward fold, give the legs a little break. And then prepping for the other side, bend into the knees a bit. Left fingertips or hand flat, whichever, between the feet, and start to open up the right arm to the sky. And again, keeping the knees facing forward, hip width apart, left elbow and inner knee pressing against one another. One more inhale there, and exhale, return to that forward fold. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, step it back. We're just going to go through one more round of modified Surya Namaskar B from here. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So we'll just stay with that lunge. If you prefer warrior one, that's fine. I'll stay with lunge. Right legs high, foot steps forward. Knee to the mat if you desire, otherwise back knee straight, leg fully fired up. As you bring the arms up and just pause here for a moment, relaxing the shoulders, engaging the triceps to straighten the elbows. As you exhale, hands back to the mat, and once again, we'll step directly to downward facing dog. Left leg now to the sky. Knee to chest, using that core to help bring the foot all the way up. Finding your stability through the legs. And as you relax the toes of your front foot, you can bring the hands initially to your chest. And then biceps by the ears if you'd like. So keep the heart open, chest lifting, smooth curve through the entire length of your spine. And then exhaling, hands back to the mat, returning to downward facing dog. One more full breath here as you relax the shoulders, press through all 10 fingertips. Next inhale, look where you're going, and you can bring the feet forward to that halfway lift. Exhale, folding in at your center. Drop the hips a bit to move into chair pose, arms by your ears or hands at heart. And then squeeze the bottom part of your glutes, the upper hamstrings, to come fully upright position and standing with hands at heart center. And then arms by your side for mountain pose Tadasana, as you just kind of let yourself recover for a moment, breathing. We're now going to move into our balanced pose of the day, Garudasana Eagle Pose. So I'll turn to kind of at a diagonal for you. And we're going to start with just the feet. So you'll have an opportunity to do legs only on each side and arms and legs combo on each side. So we're going to start with some weight into our right foot. That'll be our balancing leg. And again, maybe glance down if you sometimes if you tend to stand with your feet out, see if you can get used to standing with the outer blades parallel to each other. And once there, and so you're not locking into the knee, it's soft enough that those muscles are working, not pressing on the joint. Hands at the heart center sometimes can help with balance. And on this first one, you're just lifting the heel up, and then to just work on the balance portion, lifting the thigh up, and then touching the toes down to the outside of the right foot. In the full expression, this is perfectly fine for your legs, so keep that in mind. And now we'll experiment with the full variation of legs. So bring the left thigh back up. Bend into the right knee more so that you can take the left thigh over the top of the right and see if it'll wrap around the bottom of your calf. And then we can unwrap it and bring it down. Okay. We'll try the same thing on the other side. You could also experiment with hands at the waist instead of at the heart and see what you like better. But we'll start to find the weight in our left leg, softening that knee just enough so that you're using muscles, not locking into the joint. And when you find something to kind of focus your gaze on, and the heel is up, next step would be, if you'd like to lift the thigh. Just feel that yourself balancing. Balance is so good to practice every single day. I've honestly been a little slack, so this is good for me too. And then you can always just place the foot, as we're going to do now, to the outside of your left foot, or when we do the next variation that includes the arms. If you want to experiment with full expression of legs, bring the right thigh back up, bend into the left knee. That allows you to get that right thigh high over the left. And possibly, it may not wrap around. You could even stay here or see if it wants to wrap around the bottom of your calf muscle near the Achilles tendon. And keep focusing on that spot. Really squeeze wherever one leg's touching the other. Kind of firmly press them into each other. That helps with balance. It also works when we're doing the arm portion. And then we'll uncross and release it down. Okay, take a moment. And mountain. And if you want to add the arms, we'll do that for this next variation. So we'll go back to that right leg first and balance there. That'll be our balancing leg. And let's move into the arms. So you can just do the arms. So take the arms out to the side. The right arm is going to go underneath the left. And maybe you're just going to place hands on the shoulders. But the other option is to try to wrap the forearms so that the palms are touching. And the wrists are not bent, but they're straight. So squeeze wherever the arms are touching each other, kind of really press them firmly into each other. That's the arm portion. If you want to add the legs, fix your spot gaze on something. And you know the first variation, the other one is to bend enough into that right thigh or that right knee so that you can cross the left leg over and potentially wrap it around. And then continue to breathe, like pressing everything into each other for Garudasana, eagle pose. If you come out of it, you can stay there or just keep moving back into it. One more breath. And then we'll release the legs. Release the arms. Come all the way up with both arms. Let's do a nice side bend. So reaching over to the right. Powerfully reaching through the arms to open up the left side. Coming back to center. Keep arms engaged and reach over to the left. And back to center. Release the arms down. Nice. So now try the other leg. Full expression if you want, or you could just do the arms. So left leg is balancing, soften the right knee so you can start to feel the weight through that, all four corners of that foot, trying to keep the toes from gripping too hard. They're just there to kind of add extra little base of support. Arms on this side, arms out to the side. This time, left arm is under, right arm on top. Either touching the shoulders or trying to wrap the forearms around. Even if they don't go all the way, you can do it here is fine. Just keep the wrists straight or wrap all the way around. So get really firmly into those arms, pressing wherever you can against each other. Check in with your breath as you start to maybe deepen into that left knee a little bit more. You can just do the kickstand variation, or for full expression, you'll start to bring that right thigh high up on the left and try to wrap it around. Check in with your breath, the face, relaxing where you can. Next inhale, you can start to unwrap the legs. Bring the arms up overhead. And this time we'll stretch to the left first and a side bend. Inhaling to center and exhale, reach over to the right. And come center. I'm going to turn back to the front. We're just going to do kind of a half sun salutation to get us into our next pose. So open the arms out to the side, bend into the knees if needed, and fold forward. Let's take a moment here, kind of pedaling the heels, bringing some space back to the spine, between the vertebrae. Relax the head. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale, you're welcome to go directly to downward dog, but if you want a little extra heat, go ahead and take it from plank down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling into upward dog. And now we are also in our downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat and bring the hands up to your waist. We're going to move into Ustrasana camel pose. We're going to do 2 rounds. And the first one, to kind of ease our body into it, will be a modified version, and second option of full variation. So for the first one, you can untuck the toes because we're not even going to reach back for our heels. We're just going to bring our hands to our low back with the fingers pointing down, kind of like you put your hands in your back pockets. Draw the shoulders in towards one another. And those hands can also encourage the tailbone to reach towards the earth. That's going to create some space in your low back for this pose. Tuck the chin just slightly and start to lift from your heart, to lift from kind of the sternum. Gaze can go slightly up. Thighs will stay stacked as they were perpendicular to the floor. So engage those quads. As you kind of just stay there supported with the heels of your hands, you could also be using fists. And breathe. Press firmly in to the tops of your, or the shin portion of your lower legs and the tops of your feet. And then begin lifting back up with your sternum and chest to come to neutral and release the hands down. You're welcome to stay with that variation. If you want to move on to the next stage, we're going to tuck the toes under so we don't have quite so far back to reach with our hands. So this is a very energizing pose, great for beginning of the day, and obviously helps kind of reverse some of those habits of arms and everything in front of us. So helps to open up those muscles and strengthen the back. We'll start same option with same starting position with the hands. So hands are in those back pockets, elbows in close, tailbone lengthening, chin slightly tucked. Keep the outer ankles lifting so that your heels are not splaying out to the side. And as you inhale, again, you're mostly just thinking about lifting from the sternum up towards the sky. Your gaze will naturally follow up slightly. And resist the urge to lean back. If you'd like to, without twisting, you're just going to reach both hands down and touch the heels. Maybe they slide down a little bit farther. But again, try not to dip through the hips, not lean back. Quads and hamstrings engaged to keep those thighs against an imaginary wall in front of you. You could also do this so that a wall is behind you and rest your head against that wall if you want that extra support, just for future reference. You're still breathing. To come out of it, you can place the hands back at your low back and lift with your heart center back to a neutral position. Nice. To do a nice counter pose, let's untuck the feet, bring the big toes together, and very slowly sit back down, kind of between the heels. We're moving towards child's pose. Because that is a lot of back extension, you want to move slowly. So feel free this morning to use your hands to support you as you start to just round yourself forward. And you can take the arms in front. That's extended child's pose with the forehead down. I actually prefer to go into traditional balasana with the arms by my side and the crown of the head on the earth. If in traditional balasana your head just doesn't make it to the ground, you could use 1 or 2 fists and rest your forehead on your fists. So take a few very deep breaths to just send some space into the low back especially. You can use your core or your hands to help you come back to a seated position, or you'll just scoot the hips over to one side and bring the legs out in front. We're going to move into tabletop pose. So now we're going to take the hands behind us. You could do fists and bend the knees. Knees and feet are hip width apart. Hands will stay, or wrists will stay underneath the shoulders. And we're going to press into all 4 corners of the feet and the hands as we lift the hips up, becoming a coffee table. So breathe there. Sometimes the inner 2 corners of your feet, so under the base of your big toe and the inner heel, start to lose a little contact. So add some pressure down through those points if you notice that happening. Stay here for 1 more breath and exhale, release back down. You can stay here because we're going to do 1 more with a little more challenging option for those who need it. But tabletop is perfectly great. You get the same effects with modified versions, and sometimes even, rather than straining to get into a more advanced variation, you get better effects because you're not straining your mind and body. Okay, next round, we'll just go right back into that tabletop. And then if you want to experiment, eventually we may have both legs extended in front, but you could do straighten 1 knee, press the foot on the mat, bring it back in, see what it feels like with the other one out, bring it back in. And if it feels right for you, you can take both feet out and then relift the hips, trying to press the ball of your feet into the mat. For 1 more inhale, and from wherever you are, you can now take a seat. So you may need to find those sit bones by pulling the muscle back behind you. We'll move into traditional Janu Shavasana A. So begin by keeping the right leg straight. Left heel comes in, and then open the knee out to the side. Sole of the foot meets the right inner thigh. Square your body over that straight right leg. Toes and kneecap of that leg are to the sky. On an inhale, you can reach up with both arms. Exhale, we're hinging at the hips. And the hands can come wherever they need to. It might be the mat, it might be the leg. And then slowly, maybe the hands come forward as your chest approaches your shin. So even though it's called head to knee pose, think more head to shin pose. Janu Shavasana is head to knee, but I'd rather you get more length through the spine. You can also take the hands to the feet. And slowly your back will take on a more rounded position as you move into the full expression. And that's fine. Just keep the shoulders relaxed if you're using your arms for leverage. And breathe into the back of that right leg. And when I say that, I'm really just kind of wanting you to bring your attention to the back of that leg. And just imagine that the warmth of your breath is helping to release tightness. The warmth of your breath is helping to massage away tension and create space. On your inhale, go ahead and come all the way up. And we'll just do a gentle twist to the right. Come back to center. Left knee up. Left leg extended. Right knee up and out to the side for Janu Shavasana A on the left side. So when you feel squared over that left leg, we'll inhale, reach up. And exhale, come forward. Take another inhale to re-lengthen through your spine. squaring your body over your leg, and then moving into your full expression. Inhale, come back up to your seated position and a gentle twist to the left. Come back to center, right knee up, leg is forward. And now if you need to scoot yourself forward, we're going to come down onto our back for our last few poses. So you can use your core or your hands to take yourself all the way down onto your mat. And then walk the heels in, keeping them hip width apart. Imagine you're squeezing a block between the knees as we prepare for bridge pose. So lengthen the back of the neck. Press the arms into the mat, palms facing down to begin with. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the belly down. And then as you inhale, think about leading with your pubic bone, not your belly button, as you lift the hips off the mat and continue lifting up. And then draw the chin away from the chest. And maybe try to shimmy your shoulder blades closer to each other. Option of interlacing the fingers underneath, pressing the pinky sides of your hands into the mat, elbows are straight. Double checking again that you're pressing into the back of the head to keep the chin off of the chest. And keeping those knees same distance apart as the feet. So squeezing that imaginary block between your thighs. Great heart opener again, reversing effects of things we do in front of us. Really nice for stretching the front body. We sit a lot, so this helps to open up those hip flexors. And to come out of it, just release the hands out to the side, spread across the upper back, and then lower slowly back down. Bring your left knee into your chest. Let the right knee come in as well. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. And then try lifting the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. It's okay if you need to keep your knees bent, whichever works. Arms are by your side. So it's like you're trying to do footprints on your ceiling. And you can stay right here, or you can move into Viparita Karana, which is using your core muscles to lift the hips up. And then placing the hands kind of like they're in your back pockets, but more at an angle. But my hands aren't doing the work. My legs and core are doing the work. So draw the belly in. Again, you're keeping the chin away from the chest here. Don't let it just... So you got to use those back neck muscles in the back of your head. If you're comfortable with moving into shoulder stand, you'll take the legs a little higher, walking the hands a little higher, and now pressing kind of like the barefoot Barbie feet. So plantar flexion and toe extension is what that is. Again, you should feel no pressure in your neck, so chin away from chest. I say it a lot because it's important. Great. For once more, just bring in some fresh blood to the upper body. And finally, stay right here. Feel free to come out of it, or you can slowly, with control, move into Halasana plow pose, where the feet move to the floor behind you. Don't force them down there. This is an extreme stretch, so don't force it. Keep the legs strong. Hands can come to the mat for those that know it. And then use the back muscles and glutes to help bring the legs back up. And this is where abs come in handy. So hands can slide to the side of your hips as you slowly roll it back down. But don't lower the legs yet. Once your back is all the way down with the legs still up, keep the legs glued together and just draw some circles on the ceiling, a few each way. This helps to massage the low back. Bend the knees, place the feet down. Just a very brief bridge. And come back down. Once more, knees into chest. Want to go into happy baby, just open the knees a little wider and take hold of the soles of your feet. And once more, you can rock a little bit side to side. Deep, full breaths as your body starts to calm and cool back down. Bring the knees together, feet on the mat. This would be a perfect time to go into Shavasana if you have time for it. You can mute me. Otherwise, go ahead and roll onto your side. And then make your way back up to a seated position. Take a moment there with that aligned spine to just let your body notice the effects of your practice. Scanning the body again, noticing differences compared to what you noticed before class. And offering some gratitude for something in your life, some blessing in your life, big or small. And then opening your eyes. Hope today's practice gave you some energy to get you through your day. And thanks for those of you able to join me live. Have a great rest of your Wednesday or whatever day it is.